Hello everyone! I hope your semester started out well. We are well into the course now, so if by chance you're not keeping up, now is the time to reach out to me to discuss your situation. Thank you to all who introduced yourselves in the Unit 0 discussion board. If you haven't noticed, I have read and briefly responded to everyone's post. Thank you for sharing a bit about yourself. I want to emphasize how important the discussion boards in each unit are. It is vital that you check them on a regular basis. It is also important that you participate at least from time to time. Currently, they're not graded, and you can choose if you participate or not. If I don't get enough participation, I will be forced to base at least part of the project grades on activity in the discussion board. I don't want to do this, so please get involved. It is your choice. I think you will find this course is much more interesting if you are engaged in the discussion boards. One hint I have found helpful is to spend a few minutes in the discussion boards every day. That way you can go through them a few at a time instead of getting overwhelmed by a long list of posts near the end of the unit. Plus, you're better prepared to join the conversation. Let me share an example of how I envision this working. Instead of doing the participation questions over and over and over, do them once as soon as they're available. Then make a note of the ones you missed and go to the discussion board to see if those questions have been addressed. If not, start the conversation about whatever you missed. Come back to the discussion board as needed to understand why you missed what you missed. Then do the participation questions a second time, and if you have used the discussion board, you shouldn't have a trouble getting 100%. Now, we have covered the basics of investing in Unit 1. We're going to move into specifics about different types of investment vehicles in Unit 2. It is critical that you understand some basics about the different investing vehicles. Most of you are familiar with checking and savings accounts, but some of you may not be as familiar with stocks and bonds. This unit will give you a good start. I would suggest that you take notes as you watch the lecture videos to help you retain more of the material. You may wonder why we spend almost a full lecture on bonds and another on stocks. We are just scratching the surface. I am currently in a graduate level class that will spend the entire semester just on bonds, and we're still only covering a small amount of the possible material. Having said that, you really don't need to go that deep to get what you need for personal investing, so don't freak out. Don't forget, I expect to see citations to multiple sources in all your projects. Check out my video about citations in the online classroom for some tips. The number of points you lose will increase as the semester progresses if you don't use citations and you don't use them correctly. For example, your final grade will drop by at least 4 percentage points if you don't use citations in this case study at the end of the semester. That is significant. Also, if you don't cite the sources you use, it could create a plagiarism issue, and we really don't want to go down that path. So if you're not using outside sources and citing them correctly, start now. It will pay off. I also want to remind you about extra credit. I offer extra credit throughout the semester. As I mentioned before, I think of extra credit as insurance for your grade. Because I offer a fair amount of extra credit, there is no need to approach me about a missed assignment. Just take advantage of the extra credit to make up for the missed quiz, project, or other aspect of the course. Now, there may be extenuating circumstances where you should reach out to me to discuss your situation, but these will likely be rare. All right, I hope you have a great week. I hope you'll join me in the discussion board. I will decide by the end of this unit of whether or not to attach the discussion to your project grades going forward. So please participate so I don't have to do that. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day.